Hello everybody, I'm Lorii Abela. I am a serial entrepreneur, so I am a real estate investor. I'm also a matchmaker, I'm a dating coach, and I am also a TV producer. And obviously, we want to help other people who are in the game of establishing their own business as well. And then this is all about making your big dreams a reality. And we interview different individuals who have ventured into business and explored the challenges and successes at the same time, and in all aspects of business. Because like we know that there are not only one aspect of business is not just the accounting. If you're just doing mainly accounting, then you're not keeping up with others. And then our guest tonight is actually, somebody who has been on a TV show of Jewish matchmaking. It's a TV series which you probably have seen in Netflix. And then he is also a professional musician. And how are you, Stuart?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. So tell us, what inspired you to be, doing these things, being a musician or being, on TV?
If you have a choice not to be a musician, you should probably take that choice. If you have something inside of you driving you to do that, then you're a legitimate musician. I wrote my first song when I was a little kid, even without playing instruments, just kind of singing around and stuff like that. The first song I wrote that was actually sort of resembling like a real song with a verse and a chorus and a chord structure. And I don't know why I wrote it. It was the very first time Michael Jordan retired. 30 years. I wrote a song for him called Bye Bye Michael. And I ended up sending it to him, and he sent me back an autographed picture. The different thing, I'm also, like you said, I'm on this Jewish matchmaking show. I think if you're in the public eye, and I understand I'm far from Ben Affleck or anything like that, it's all part of your brand. You're trying to portray yourself a certain way. I try to be as authentic as I can be, whether it's on the TV show, whether it's in the songs I write, whether it's in an interview like this. I wouldn't know how to pretend to be anyone that I wasn't. So, this is me, take it or leave it. And a lot of people choose to leave it. And hopefully a few people like me the way I am.
Okay. All right. And so is there anybody in your family who is also a musician?
My dad played guitar a little bit. My aunt was a guitar teacher at the Old Town School of Folk Music. Her name was Myrna Landy. My dad was Edward Chaseman. They're both deceased now. Nobody that I know of really made albums or wrote songs or anything or performed in front of an audience.
Okay, all right. So it was a hobby that they had?
Well, my aunt made a living at it, but she was a guitar teacher. She approached it from a different angle.
Did you learn from her?
When I was really, really young, I went to guitar lessons with her when I was really young. And it wasn't one-on-one lessons. It was in like a class with many people. And it was bad because I went to guitar lessons were on Saturday mornings, and on Sundays I had to go to Sunday school. So 7 days a week I had to get up early, and I'm not a morning person. So I proposed to my parents. I stopped going to Sunday school, and that wasn't an option, it turns out. So I gave up on guitar and then I picked it up again as maybe a teenager.
Oh my God. So that's interesting that you went back to it. Okay. And then can you tell us how do you keep yourself ensuring that yours is the quality that your audience want to see?
I mean, I don't have any control whether they're going to connect with what I do or not. All I could do is strive to be the best songwriter I can, the best musician I can, surround myself with good producers, good people in my band. Right now, when I play out with my band, we're Stuart, Chaseman, and the Born Again Sinners. I promise you they're the best. We'll be hopefully coming to a town near you soon. We're right now we're going to be doing, this summer we'll be in New York, Philadelphia, Des Moines, Chicago, and possibly Milwaukee. And, that's how you get better too, is going out in front of an audience and doing your thing.
Okay. And so what is your role in the group? Are you the leader of the band? I mean, I haven't seen you perform yet.
All right, well, you got to get on top of that.
Uh-huh.
Well, I am the Stuart Chaseman of Stuart Chaseman and the Born Again Sinners, so I guess you could call me the leader. I write the songs, I sing the songs. I value everybody's input in the band, though, and everyone comes up with ideas and things like that, but I guess it would be fair to say that I'm the leader of the band.
Okay. And then how about the marketing? You have somebody doing that for you?
I have a manager / agent person. I do a lot of the social media myself, but it is just an overwhelming responsibility these days. There's so many different outlets to stay on top of. And as soon as you got one thing, I'm a Facebook guy. I don't understand why anyone would like Instagram better than Facebook, but I'm told I have to really push the Instagram these days. My manager does a lot of my Instagram. If you write to me on any of those platforms, though, I promise you I'll respond personally. I'm not going to let her do that. There's a new thing called Threads I just learned about that she wants me to get on top of. It's just a really difficult task staying on top of social media. You can follow me at any of those places, but the place I'm most active with is Facebook. I'm a Facebook guy.
Okay, all right. Yeah, because like that's what they usually say, like it takes a whole village in order to run social media.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of work, and then there's always something new. And so you have to keep yourself updated. What is the new thing? Like that Threads is like, not too long. So I guess like still have to catch up. Like the good thing about Facebook is like, it's always there, but of course they're changing the algorithm all the time, and so it can get crazy. And so how do you stay updated as far as like the advancement in technology is concerned? Like, I'm sure there's some developments in the music industry, like, okay, they have new equipment and all those things.
Well, everything has gotten much easier as far as getting your music out to the public because of social media and because you could go directly to the person I could put my stuff on iTunes without a middle person, without a record company. I could put myself on all the different digital outlets, which is mostly a good thing because the doors have opened. But now there's just so much out there that the listener is just overwhelmed with like a lot of stuff that isn't very good. So you hope your stuff rises to the top and people are able to find you somehow. That's why I'm very grateful for the dating reality show I was on, because that brought me a lot of exposure. I know the stuff is pretty good. If you like the type of music I like, I think you'll like it. My influences are Springsteen, Dylan, people like that. It's just a question, hopefully people will find me. But I think the advancements in a musician's ability to get the music out there with a greater amount of ease is a really nice change compared to the way it was when I first got into the business.
So what was the medium when you first got into the business?
There just wasn't, I could literally go home right now, have something resembling a recording studio in my house, record something that's a pretty good product, upload it to the internet, and have people listening to it within 24 hours. That technology didn't exist even 20 years ago.
Okay. So did you had cassettes and CDs?
Sure, I had cassettes, I had CDs. I still do. I still have my current album, which is Secrets, Lies, and Alibis. I have it available on CDs. I'm learning the hard way. Not too many people want to buy CDs anymore. We also have download cards that we sell at shows. And this is kind of a new thing that not everyone does. I have USB drives that look like credit cards, and you flip the USB part and you put it right into your computer. So we have to kind of be creative to figure out new ways to fit the way people listen to music these days.
Okay. So I know that you were in the Jewish matchmaking. So did you have to have certain training for that?
No, there was a very long process until they actually tell you you're going to be on the show. I had to, I didn't, they didn't really give me any input prior to filming. After the filming, they gave you a little bit of training as far as talking to the media and things like that. Part of the process of getting chosen was I had to prove to a rabbi I was Jewish, which I had no idea how to do. I had to join Ancestry.com and trace my lineage to when my great-great-grandparents came through Ellis Island.
Oh.
I had to meet with a psychiatrist to make sure I wasn't crazy, several interviews with casting people, and then eventually they said they wanted me on the show. The contract I had to sign was completely egregious in my opinion, but I signed it. One of the things it said in there is, we reserve the right to present fictitious information about you that shows you in a false light. Mm-hmm. And they didn't lie about me or anything like that, but they just want to cover themselves any possible way. And they're holding all the cards. I mean, if I'm asked back for season 2 with all the attention I got, maybe I'll have a little bit more pull, but I was just so happy that they picked me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so, obviously, I have also some friends in the industry who have been on TV, in reality TV. So do you think the compensation for that is actually commensurate to all the efforts that you have done?
There was no money. They didn't pay me directly. They told me that was negotiable, but then that never happened. It's hard to measure financially how it's helped me with my other avenues, but I know I've gotten a lot of hits on social media. I know more people are turning up at the shows. I'm absolutely grateful for the opportunity. I'm absolutely grateful for people who've been exposed to what I do as a result of it.
Okay. So did you actually ask a lawyer to look at your contract?
I have a friend who's a lawyer. She didn't like the contract at all. She was not in favor of me signing it. And I talked to one of the producers, and I'm just like, you seem like a nice guy. Don't screw me over on this. I'm signing away my life to you. I mean, you could literally say anything about me. I mean, for you, this is just a TV show. For me, this is my life. I go, promise me. And he said, you'll be good. The one thing you don't have control over is the edit. So they could have some control of how they want to present you, but if they show me talking, I actually said it. They never told me what to say. So you just have to be mindful of, you're always on camera. You hear about politicians having hot mic moments and things like that. You just have to remember you're always on camera. And I was more or less happy with the footage they used. There's only one thing that I thought was a cheap shot. Is they told me I could play a song and they would use some of a song on the show, and I was playing it and I was trying to remember what key I play the song in. I was going, I'm like, no, hold on. I move the capo. I go, I would play. I'm like, no. I move it one more time. I go, okay, I got it. And then I played it perfectly. And then the 30 seconds they showed was me screwing around trying to remember what key the song is in. So when I saw the producer in New York, I'm like, why did you do that? And he goes, I knew you weren't going to like that. I said, well, it didn't stop you from doing it. And he's like, yeah, I thought it made good TV. And I don't know. I mean, there's a certain amount of vulnerability in putting yourself out there, giving up control. So, I mean, I did it. They have every right to show it.
Okay. So you're saying there's no script. Whatever you said over there is what you actually improved.
Yeah, there's no script. It's completely this show was completely unscripted. I don't know about the others.
Okay. All right. Nice to know. Because I think it's a good scenario that you're sharing this, because for those people who are actually thinking about being on reality TV, so they have an idea what's the real thing that's happening out there. They're just not completely coming oh no, okay, I didn't know. Yeah. So at least you also know that most of the scripts or most of the contracts are more biased among the producers.
And again, nothing scripted, but I don't know that you would call what we had as dates. You know, there's like 4 cameras around you, there's hot lights on you, there's 15 other people in the room. You'll be in the middle of a story, and then they'll go, okay, hold up 1 second, we have to change the reel, wait 1 second. Okay, can you back up and start the story again? So, I mean, obviously that doesn't happen on a regular date. One of the girls they set me up with, I actually went out that evening with to try to get to know her a little bit better, and I've kept in touch with her. I guess it's as real as it can be.
Okay, all right. That's good to know. And then so can you share us where have you performed, and what was your experience like when you were starting performing?
Sure. Unfortunately, I got injured after Jewish matchmaking. I wasn't able to stand up and play guitar. I had a slip disc injury and I had to have surgery. So I played my first show post-Jewish matchmaking in January 24, and that was great. That was in Arlington Heights, Illinois at Hey Nani's. We had a great crowd. I was very happy with the turnout. I was worried that we were charging too much money, and people came out and they're so... They were into it. They were very receptive. So now we're taking it on the road. I'll give you some dates far enough in the future. I'm going to be in Philadelphia on August 9th, 2024. I'll be in the Cutting Room in New York on August 10th. And for people in Chicago, I'm going to be at the Cubby Bear on September 27th.
Okay. And so is your manager arranging all of these things for you?
She's not really a booking agent, and I've really been doing that myself, so I don't have to give anyone a cut of the money, and it's really not that hard.
Okay, all right. No, I think anybody who's in business, when they're trying to build their business, they do everything, the accounting, the marketing, and whatever administrative is supposed to be done. So they just try to do everything to make it happen.
And it's called the music business because it's a business. It's not all about chord progressions. I mean, you're going to have to decide, do you want your t-shirts to be 100% cotton or a 50-50 blend of cotton and polyester? I mean, there's all these decisions. Basically, you're the CEO of a company that is your brand, and it would be nice if it was all about the music, but there's a whole lot of other things you have to pay attention to.
Yeah. I was talking to another friend, she's a model, and so the same thing, she has to consider what she's doing as a business, because obviously you have to do your own marketing, you have to be, applying in different things, just like what you did on TV. You said there are other people who are lining up for that particular role.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have a new avenue that I'm promoting my brand. I'm going to be competing with you. I have a show called The Schmooze. You can see it online on YouTube and on all my social media. The Schmooze with Stuart Chaseman. My first guest on the show is Harmony Krieger, who is another cast member on Jewish Matchmaking, so check that out if you get a chance.
Okay, awesome. And so what advice would you give to those people who are seriously thinking about creating their music and being a musician?
I would say go for it. Don't cater to what you think different trends are. Just cater to what your heart is telling you to write. I think you want to be as authentic as possible and have something to say. I mean, if you expect people to listen, I don't like nonsense lyrics. I mean, have something to say that's worthwhile and just be true to yourself.
Okay. And so do you recommend people to learn how to play a musical instrument and have a voice instructor?
I've never had a voice instructor, so I don't know if that's a necessity. Michael Jackson did awfully well without playing a musical instrument. I mean, I guess it just depends on what works for you. I don't know how I would go about writing songs if I didn't have some sort of knowledge of playing guitar and playing piano. No one's going to hire me to play guitar or piano in their band. Luckily, I'm the band leader, so I get to do that. I'm primarily a singer and a songwriter, but the instruments are an important tool of making the songs. I guess it can be done without it. I just don't know how to do that.
Okay, so where do you find your inspiration to create those music that you write?
A lot of people say my music is dark and depressing, and for whatever reason, I find sadness and more motivating than being really happy about something. It's not that I'm always sad. It's just that I just don't know what to write if I'm in a relationship that's going super well and I'm really, what do you write? I mean, just pick up your guitar and say, oh, this relationship is great. I'm so happy. I'm going to see her tomorrow night. But when your heart is broken, I find that much more motivating, and I think it's more interesting to listen to, at least from my point of view. Like I said, I try to put a piece of myself in all my music. I'll give you a comparison. I'm a big Rolling Stones fan, and I don't want this to be perceived in any way knocking or dissing the Rolling Stones. But you could listen to the entire Rolling Stones catalog from front to back and not know anything more about Mick Jagger than you knew going in. It's just not in there. There's nothing about him in those lyrics. That's the type of songwriter he is. I'm not that. If you pick any 3 songs of mine at random and play them back to back, you're going to know something about me that you didn't know going in. That's the way I approach it. I don't know that there's a right or wrong way to do it, but that's what works for me.
Okay. All right. It's very interesting because like on TV, you're funny. And then like, over in your music, you're, doing the sad stuff.
Yeah, I know. I will have to figure out a way to balance that.
Okay. How do you see yourself in the future in this industry?
I see myself headlining big stadiums in front of like 50,000 people. Whether that comes to pass or not, I'm not too sure. I'm just happy people are paying attention to it. I'd rather have a handful of people who really get the music than thousands that don't. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to keep doing it. The reward for me is just writing the song and getting it out there. If you were Taylor Swift and millions, if not billions, people are hearing it, that's just kind of the icing on the cake. I mean, the reward for me of writing a great song is writing a great song. That's it. You don't need anything on top of that. You've already got the reward. Anything on top of that is just a bonus.
Okay. All right. So, last question. So, what are the challenges that, being in a musician encounters?
As Elvis Presley used to say, it's a tough way to make a living. Going out and getting your music playing live in other places is very difficult to make it profitable because it costs so much money for me to fly me and the band to New York, get hotels and things like that just to play for like 25 people. So that's always a difficult challenge. And like I said earlier, there's just so much music out there. It's so hard to get people to hear your stuff. I luckily have this edge because of the reality show that's worked out for me. But without that, as good as the music is, I think there was a time when there wasn't so much out there that if you were really, really, really good, people were going to find you somehow. I don't think that's the case anymore unless you have the right people working with you to do your social media, to get the music out there, and have the right team behind you.
Okay. But I can see you're passionate about it.
I do my best. On some days today I am.
Okay, so let's hear it from Stuart. We're gonna have some music over here today.
Thank you so much, Lorii, for having me. Please check out my music at stuartchaseman.com. This next song I'm going to do is off my new album. It's called Secrets, Lies, and Alibis. It's called Sins. And this goes out to What's Her Name wherever she is. Just like a rolling stone with no direction home, so the song goes. And I only known for certain what lay beyond the curtain down the road I chose. Doubt is a demon always by my side. Here comes that old feeling, I'll never be satisfied. hold you tonight. If I could undo the wrongs that I did, I'd make everything right. Tired of being alone. Maybe I'm just too stoned. Hate the shape that I'm in, and I'll hold you tonight, pay for all of my sins. Haunted by my mistakes and how my body aches from the thorns in my side. Now that everything's gone wrong, been on the run too long, got no place left to hide. Faith is a place I've never been, but my sleeves and ace, I know I can still win. I would pay for all of my sins just to hold you tonight. Could undo the wrongs that I did, I'd make everything right. Tired of being alone, and I know I'm too stoned. Hate the shape that I'm in, and I'll hold you tonight, pay for all of my sins. Ain't nobody's bargain, ain't no shiny I'm at night. The wind, throw your caution. Let me hold you tonight. I guess I'll be on my way. There's nothing more to say. The damage has been done. You go your way, I'll go mine. Don't worry, I'll be fine. Time I get back on the run. Got blood on my hands, and my heart's on my sleeve. And I certainly understand why you'd want me to live. Could undo the wrongs that I did, and make everything right. Tired of being alone. You probably know that I'm stoned. Hate the shape that I'm in, and I'll hold you tonight, pay for all of my sins.
again, thank you so much, Stuart, for being over here. I really applaud you for that great music that you have
Thank you.
played for us. And then for those people who are looking to start their own business or already have their business, share us your success. Come over here and let me know so that we can actually have you here on the studio. And I see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye,
Thank you.
Stuart.
Thank you for having me.